Hey guys, I'm Rachel. That's Kelsey. This is Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel coming at you live.
We're live, people.
We think.
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah, so...
This is the livest stream ever.
Well, I'm also looking down at YouTube, but there's kind of delay, so it's just... It's showing a blank screen, but...
This is pretty shoddy production.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine, guys. Kelsey, we just watched UFC 261. There we go.
And what an insane card, people.
The whole thing. Stop stealing my
I'm going to keep going up here.
Let's just start. We got a lot to talk about. So we're going to start at the end and work our way backwards. Usman, right?
Kamaru Usman knocked out Jorge Masvidal in, I think, the second round. What an amazing turn of events, Rachel. Kamaru Usman is the scariest dude on the planet Earth, not named Francis Ngannou, I think.
Yeah, he's just... I just can't even.
I mean, pound for pound, he's probably the scariest dude. This dude can wrestle, he can strike, he can knock. He just knocked Jorge Masvidal out with a single punch in front of his home crowd in Miami. It was in Florida. It was in Jacksonville. What an amazing, amazing performance from Kamaru Usman. After the fight, I think it was John Anik, argued that maybe Kamaru Usman should be ranked number 1 pound for pound over John Jones. Maybe he should. And I'm a big John Jones guy. Maybe he should. Kamaru Usman looks that good. I've said it for a while now. He reminds me in boxing of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Before Floyd Mayweather became the most popular fighter in the world, he was a great fighter who didn't have as many fans, kept winning big, and became huge. I think Usman could be on his way to doing that.
Well, and that's destined to happen, right? Because as the sport continues on, it's going to be, people are going to get better in the sport, And UFC is relatively young, so for somebody like John Jones to keep, the certain monikers, it's going to get harder and harder to do in a sport like this.
Yeah, there's always some guys coming up, and it also depends on your definition of pound for pound, right? If you're talking about right this second, we're talking about Kamaru Usman's in his prime and appears to be getting better, and that's scary. He looks great. I'm saying there's an argument for both. You can't go wrong with either, but wow, congratulations to Kamaru Usman for even having an argument.
I love Usman, his post-fight interview, his whole family there, and bringing his dad up. I was like, oh my gosh, how precious is his dad? And then Usman kind of being the dad to everybody, telling everybody there to drive home safe.
I mean, how?
And then Masvidal also being classy in his post-fight interview, and then I'm tearing up when he talks directly into the camera to his kids. I was like, oh.
How about how that was contentious, right, leading up?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember them talking about dead bodies and stuff, which are being thrown around. And yet after the fight, they came together, and I really love when I see that. Both classy fighters, both were in incredible shape, Masvidal looked really great. That's what makes Usman so scary. But Rachel,
how about Thug Rose?
Usman wasn't the only big winner.
Yeah, Thug Rose was our other big winner, and so she was our upset.
Huge upset over our Zhang Weili. And of course, people thought, and even Dana White said, Zhang Weili, she wins this fight. If Valentina Shevchenko wins her fight, we're setting up that super fight. Well, guess what? The super fight's over. That super fight is trash now because Thug Rose, insane head kick KO in the first round. Did not see that coming, Rachel.
Yeah, and here's the UFC's little tweet, and I have to that. I was just just yelling out because it was so, huge, a huge upset. So Usman, Rose did what Usman did, except she was the upset version.
She did it faster, and she did it. Wow.
And so totally, my heart goes out to Zaylee.
Juan J. Lee.
I put some sounds together.
Me too. I could be completely off base here. But
she didn't know what happened, so she didn't have, because she got knocked out, and so for her to process that, and that's hard to do live, but hey, that super exciting, and now we're going to go another fight back and talk about just a dominant performance, yet again, from Valentina
Shevchenko. That was a huge win over Jessica Andrade. A lot of people that I respect in the MMA community, as this fight was built up, were saying, oh, this is Valentina's toughest fight. And I even saw people that actually picked Jessica Andrade, and I was like, there ain't no way, because Valentina Shevchenko is, I think, she's one of the most dominant champions in the UFC. And then when I saw these two, remember that Andrade was moving up from strawweight, where she used to be a title holder, to flyweight. You don't want Valentina to also be a lot bigger than you. She's a lot bigger. She's so strong. She's so great at Muay Thai kickboxing, of course, but she's also great at wrangling people down to where she wants them and being dominant on the ground. And she doesn't get enough respect for that, Rachel.
Well, and she proved that tonight. She said, like, I wanted to show I don't have any weaknesses. So people thought I had a weakness in the wrestling, and she was like, I don't have a weakness here. I, too, thought Jessica would be harder to take down, and then right there at the beginning, I mean, Jessica's got some really strong legs, and then Valentina just like she's just made of pure muscle. Like, I mean, she just hugely dominant to watch her.
What an amazing card. And of course, this was the first fight, or the first card back with a full crowd of fans.
Have fans always been like
so
this?
Fun? I don't know.
I mean, the fans were clearly just it was like another fight on the card.
It's like a WWE crowd.
It was. I was
really
like this with just the chants and the boos, and they would boo like on a dime. Like, they weren't tolerating like any kind of slowdown in any action. And I love when fans are like that, because they're just so happy to be there, and so they're just gonna be like, boo, just all like for any reason. And then of course we have to talk about the fans who made a certain somebody, I think, much more relevant in his endeavor to fight a UFC fighter.
You hear about Jake Paul?
Yes.
How about you have to have a set of stones on you to be Jake Paul and to walk into a UFC fan base that hates your guts, and also a bunch of UFC fighters that hate your guts. And man, he got confronted by Daniel Cormier. That was insane. But I mean, credit to Jake Paul. He knows how to stir up some trouble. He knows how to stir up interest.
This whole thing just did all that, and I was like, the more the fans chant F Jake Paul, the more relevant him fighting a UFC fighter becomes. And all I see is the wheels turning in Dana White's head of like, this is going to be lucrative if I can somehow be involved in the next fight involving Jake Paul.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because it's just, it was crazy. And I there is a certain amount of admiration that I have to have for somebody who can walk into a place like that and be so hated. I so struggle with people pleasing. I mean, I once turned around from a store to go return my Amazon returns because I had 3 of them, and I was like, this is too much to bring in at one time. They're going to hate me. It's their job. And I was like, I don't want these people not to like me.
Definitely, Jake Paul doesn't care about that, and you have to admire that, like you said.
Yeah. So, here we are. This is our YouTube live, and we have a comment. We're glad to see the fans back again. And let me just tell you, like Joe Rogan, I thought when the fans were first not allowed, I was like, I think I really like this. I can hear everything that's going on, and I can all this stuff. And then immediately, and it wasn't with this fight, it was another fight that we watched where fans were allowed back in, and I was like, I did miss them. I didn't know that I missed all you ticket-buying people that love to go to these events live, because I like all the TV views. I like the good camera angles. Maybe it's because I'm not sitting right up there cage side. I'm not one of those people, so.
The sights and sounds of UFC card. We didn't know we were missing so many sights and sounds without fans, but we were, and we're glad they were back. Of course, the biggest sight and sound was the tremendous knockout punch that Kamaru Usman landed. Did you see that coming, Rachel? I thought he would win the fight, but I wasn't sure he would obliterate him with one punch.
Masvidal had me convinced because he walked through some of the other strikes that landed, and he had me convinced. I was like, you know what? Usman might be in trouble because Masvidal's taken like his punches, like and then until he didn't. So,
yikes.
Until he didn't. But hey, tons of admiration for Masvidal and how he handled defeat and just being like, hey, he beat me. I am as excited about that. It just, man, to do that in public on a grand stage and you lose. talk about all the stuff that you learn from that just in your journey of life. Not your journey of the UFC, but your journey of life. I have a ton of respect for that too. So what do you think? Colby Covington next.
That's what Dana White said. I think that's going to happen. I mean, that first fight was one of the better fights that I've seen, really, in the past couple of years. It was a really, really good fight. Usman won that fight by knockout. And here's a scary thing for Covington, I think. Usman looks a lot better now. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. I broke my jaw last time. And Covington's a really good fighter. But we haven't seen if he's improved as much as it appears Usman has improved since the first fight. So I think it's a great fight. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it either. What do you think about getting a trio together of Colby Covington? Like, when he comes to the fight with Usman, I think, like, in his corner, you know, he should have Jake Paul and he should have Donald Trump and just, like...
I mean, wow. Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
Cut some eyeballs and get some people's opinions.
People would love to hate that, and
I don't think that's going to happen. But
I don't think
that
so
fight is
either.
going to happen, and I think it's a good fight.
Yeah, I think it's a good fight too. Hey, folks that joined us in the live chat, God bless you guys too, and we like seeing you here in the live chat. And yeah.
Well, hey, it was really fun to catch up about UFC 261. 3 title fights. They all delivered, I think. What a great card. And now, Rachel, we look forward to UFC 262.
Here in Texas. We live in Texas. And so, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We live in Texas. So, Kelsey, you might be going to that fight.
Going.
Okay. You are going to that fight. And hey, do you want to congratulate me on, look at all this stuff I did on a live stream.
This is our second live
I'm just going to
stream,
run
so
through
pretty fancy,
all my graphics here.
Wow.
I figured this out.
Now you made it weird.
All right. Hey, good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed UFC 261.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you. I don't know. When did I start doing this?
I'll see you at the press conference, virtually.
I do this on YouTube. I think I'm going to bring it out to my in real life every time. Hey, so good to see you. I'm going to start doing this.
I think it's from that documentary. Hello, Pacquiao. What was it?
I don't think
That's what I do. I'm like, hello, Pacquiao.
Okay. All right. Really, guys. Bye. We'll see you next time.